head to culinary class. I suppose I can deposit some of these things. This is in my bag. We'll do this in here. And let's take our leave. We still have some time, so we can afford to loiter a bit. I don't want to loiter too much, obviously. There you go. Wanted to adjust my apron a bit more as we're going to culinary. I am excited. I am rather excited for culinary. Loon Tavali is aware of my condition, but I don't believe Seven is, so I do want to inform him as well. Let me see. Will you be attending culinary? Let's see if he will be in attendance. I know he had mentioned that a possible mistake. So I do hope that he does not slip up and cut the sea monster that sits beside him. Lady Celine Fenwick. I see the Fenwicks have adopted a young lady into their family unit. How lovely. I wonder if we're going to collect a number of Fenwicks around the same way that we have a collection of Wiggles. I plan to be, yes, will you be? I plan to as well. I will be heading that way soon. I do want to go, and I have some ink thanks to Tavali, but I do need some quills to write with, and paper. Do that. Oh goodness. Are my books downstairs? Are you awake? I am. Let's see. Do we have sugar cane for paper? Don't see any. I know we had a small form outside. Oh goodness. Let's see. Get this. Do we have a bench for me to bind the paper to this leather? We do. Perfect. So here, some of the ink. That. There we are. So I have a book for class now. I'm not sure if we'll need a book for culinary. I do think it's rather hands-on. I do want to inform Seven about my affliction I have currently, but I don't know if he's already at the school or not. I can wait a few more minutes before I head that way. Or can I? Am I confident I know where I'm going? It is near the back of the school where the other exit is. So if I get to the courtyard, I go straight through the courtyard. And it's going to be at the end on my left. Yes, there's a lot of new animals around the dorm. They seem to keep increasing.
I was just going to say, like, I didn't realize how many cats were out here, and kind of tempted to move my new one out here.
I think they're all about and around. They're, Lady Daphne has been moving them about, and I think Lady Lizzaylia has also brought some home. But there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it would seem that so much purring happening.
Yes, there's a lot of it. It's rather cute.
My little guy.
Yes,
Oh.
the Fenwicks have some, and then the Wiggles family has grown, so it's been a lot.
Oh no.
It is
Many
raining
Wiggles.
outside currently.
Ooh.
Yes, do you have an umbrella?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yes, I remember you have a black umbrella. Wait, it stopped. Perfect.
Perfect time.
I do want to inform you that there is suspicion that somebody has been using dark magic within the academy. Or black magic, whatever it's concerned. And I've been trying to keep the information more down low regarding this, but I do know the demons are already aware due to them having information to give me to begin with, but I think I'm the one being afflicted with it.
Well, that's not good.
No, not at all. With how much has been going back and forth between Cerulean and Solmera, I'm suspicious that they might be behind it, but I have no evidence.
That would probably be my first suspect, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a bit of a beef happening there.
Yes, I just wanted to ensure you're looped in on that.
That is good to know.
Yeah, so just be mindful of who is behind you, apparently.
Now I gotta worry about who's in front of me, next to me, and behind me.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's rather annoying. I dare say, Cerulean was very helpful with information regarding it. I would have had no idea. I had just felt myself sliding about, and whenever I had exclaimed frustration regarding it, High Chancellor Cassian had mentioned that they had someone having something similar happen to them.
Oh. Love that.
Yes.
I assume you know where we're going. I've been following you like you do.
Fairly. I believe I do know where I'm going. I actually went over this before we left. I'm like, okay, I think I have enough time to make it to class because I do believe I know where it is. If not, I will ask someone to come fetch us if you don't.
As I say, I think culinary class might be the one that I haven't accidentally found.
I do believe it is just down this hall to the left because I think it is this exit up ahead. It's down the hall by it. Oh, there's Lady Daphne. Interesting. Yes, it is down this way.
We're not going to be late today.
No, we're not.
I needed a lot of rest yesterday, so I wasn't really around.
I needed to keep myself busy for just a little bit.
Greetings.
Hello.
Let's check.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Let's see.
Our path is getting a little bit ridiculous.
What now?
The path at our dorm?
Yes.
A little bit ridiculous.
Indeed.
Culinary.
We can discuss that later.
Yeah, I was being very vague with that sentence, but...
Simply referring to the incident, as if being vague covers it, because we've been confronted about it.
Just look upon the rules of this class.
That is a smart idea.
The number one rule is very obvious.
Class will learn how to prepare and serve food, learn about the careful hand it requires to create the perfect dish or banquet spread, and the etiquette required to present such fine
I can't
Rule
seem
7.
to read... Yeah, I can't read Rule
Yes.
7 all the way.
I believe Rule 7 was cut off.
No running with knives, no setting fire unless it's contained and cannot cause damage to other students or school
Katarina?
property. Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Well, would you look at that?
Yes. I can't
It looks
say-
good.
Thank you. Yours looks very nice as well.
Thank you. Oh,
Let's see.
Does that mean we can go in?
Heard or yes,
Mhm.
chef?
Good day, Grand Duchess.
Good evening.
Would you care for some breakfast?
Sure.
Here you are.
Ah, you finally managed the pancakes.
I have indeed. I believe I spent a little too long in the kitchen the other night.
Well, they look delicious. Thank you, Levy.
Of course.
You're already ahead in this class.
I would appear so.
I greet those when I
See,
approach,
things
but
I
she
might
doesn't
need for
greet
the
those she
class.
approaches.
Oh, look at you go.
Like a note.
was there anything specific in there that we needed?
No, it mentioned referring to things when you're spoken to as heard or yes, chef. And then the typical, don't run with knives, don't do uncontrollable fires.
Yes, I should probably look at that. Hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Tavali.
Hello,
Hi.
Tavali.
Excited for class?
Yes, I am. I've been
Yes.
looking forward to this one.
Shall we get in?
Yes. Find the view rather annoying, personally. Not against trading, but if you don't mind, I can visit the professor and ask about training seats. I'll see how the first class goes. Yes, I'll see how the first class goes, and if it's too inconvenient being in the very back, I will get permission to move up.
How did you get here again? This is the third time. I don't have time. Poppy, you stay right here. No, that's not what I meant to do.
Hello,
Poppy,
Poppy.
please, please. She's
you
getting
need a
quite
moment?
upset.
I can keep an eye on her.
Well, it seems Lady Poppy rather likes you.
Well, I'm glad that situation is dealt with. Headmaster, it is nice of you to join us.
Yes, I thought I'd supervise, make sure there's no fires started.
Well, there... to many people's disappointment, may not really be any cooking going on today, as we have to go over the rules and such.
Naturally.
Yes. Considering the state of the... Alright. It is 7 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here on good time as well. And I see most of you are wearing aprons. It's quite alright if you don't have an apron yet, as we won't be cooking today. But I do strongly suggest some of you get them. But, yes, this is culinary arts, we will be learning how to cook, as not everyone is vying for running the kingdom. Some of you will be handling others, as in cooking for them, cleaning for them, and what have you. So you are going to learn how to cook different things even if you yourself cannot consume it, because you may very well be serving someone who can eat something else. Now, we're going to start off with the rules, as everyone so desperately loves to learn. So please do take notes. They also should be in your orientation pamphlet as well. Starting off, if you are holding a knife, do not run. Running with knives is a surefire way to get hurt, whether it be you or someone else. An addendum to that, if you drop a knife, let it fall on the floor. Do not try to catch it. You do not have good reflexes. At least not as good as you think. Number 2. You will not be setting any fires unless it is contained for cooking and does not cause damage to other students or school property. We don't want to deal with that. By we, I mean me. Number 3, no fighting. Whether that be physical or otherwise. Yelling in a kitchen is natural to be heard, but not to insult someone else or cause stress. Cooking can be fun. Let's make it that way. And on the topic, yelling is only allowed if you get hurt. You can be loud, do not yell, unless you hurt yourself, in which case, feel free to yell. If I speak to you, or if this gives you an instruction, because I will be creating groups for projects later, and someone will be considered the executive chef. If you are given an instruction, you will respond with heard or yes, chef. It's to keep things simple and make the executive chef understand that you have heard the instruction and understand it. Also, I will be referred to only as chef or chef Saren. I am not a professor in this class, I am a chef. I will be teaching you exactly what you are going to need to know to cook. And that is a completely different role as a professor. Also, cookware is not to be removed from this kitchen. If I have to hunt down the cookware, such as pots, pans, or otherwise, I'm going to become angry. Your knives you are welcome to take with you, as knives can be very personal. But that is the only thing. Alright, does everybody understand?
Yes, chef.
Yes,
Yes,
chef.
chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, Chef
Yes,
Saren.
chef.
Yes,
Yes,
chef.
chef.
Yes, chef.
Perfect. Just what I wanted to hear. Now, everyone may get up from their seats as we're going to take a little tour. I'm sure some of you have already seen the farm, but just in case, we are going to take a look at it. Headmaster, if you'd like to come with us.
Yes, of course.
Do be careful of Lady Poppy, I think the name was.
Yes.
Sorry for her.
It's
I love
quite
her.
alright.
She is quite.
She's very loving.
She likes
Yes,
the attention.
she is
what can I say?
quite. Sound of a conduit.
Alright, now that everybody is here, the rulebook is right up front here. I do urge you to read it on your own time. For now, we are simply going to take a tour. Everybody step inside, and whoever is last through the gate, please close it behind you.
Oh, the smell.
Inside, you will find all the farm animals. Cows, pigs, sheep, and then chickens are over in the barn. There is also a beehive over there if you wish to collect honey at any point. And by over there, I do mean over here. There is a campfire underneath it, as it does take smoke to stop bees from being angry when you steal their honey. Over here, you will find the barn, in which we do have chickens with plenty of eggs.
I didn't realize there was chickens in there.
Don't be shy, you can walk over here, yes. And of course, if you find yourself with excess crops, you can place them in these chests over here. And then, if there are not eggs just lying on the ground, you can check the over there. In here, you will find the actual crops themselves, there is most everything, save for a few more exotic crops. Now, how about we collect some wheat? If I could get 2 volunteers to collect some wheat.
I'll volunteer.
All right.
I'll volunteer.
Perfect. You 2 collect the wheat, and then how about one other person go in and collect the eggs?
I can collect eggs.
Perfect. And you do have to be careful leaving this gate open, as the pigs do like the carrots.
Sorry.
Alright, once you have all of it, please rejoin me outside, and we will head back to the classroom.
Interesting. Very promptly hopped on top of that llama.
Ah. Please, chicken. You know what? You can stay outside. Fine. All right, class. Let us head back to the kitchen.
Hello
And to
again,
Lady
little one.
Poppy. Aw.
Lady Poppy.
All right. We are just waiting for a couple more people, and then we will get to the next part. Now, I hope everyone familiarized themselves quite well with that. Now, we are going to actually make something. Because I changed my mind.
Mm.
So, how much wheat did we get?
I have 23.
I have 21.
21 and 23. I have 27 on me. Why don't we come up here and then bring the eggs up here as well?
Yes, chef.
All right. Come over here into this cabinet and just put them in the bottom left. All right, perfect. Let's see that. Okay. Okay, let's do our table. If each one of you 3 wants to, let's see. How about you give out 3 of these for each table? Just
Yes,
3
chef.
wheat to each table. And then give 1 of those to
Thank you,
each
chef.
table.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, chef.
We are going to learn how to make bread from dough. I'm sure some people are aware how to make it straight from wheat, but we're going to be more efficient than that. Because, as many people know, there are some out there that eat quite frequently. So it's important to know how to make a lot of food. Bread being the most basic, we're going to start with that.
Are we
So,
returning
does
up to the front or going back to our tables?
You may go back to your table,
Yes, chef.
as I want you to also be a part of this. Does every single table have 3 wheat and 1 egg?
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
I believe I have 2 by accident.
That's quite alright, as long as you have minimum. You're missing wheat?
Yes.
My lady, are you sure you don't need this egg?
Thank you, chef.
I'm sure I have
You're
one.
quite welcome.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. As I believe we are actually missing crafting tables, I'm going to place this right here. Make a line and combine that 3 wheat with 1 egg to make your dough.
You mentioned before you like bread. Really?
3
Do
wheat
you
and
want
1
to do
egg.
it, or shall I?
We are creating dough, not bread.
I'm fine with you doing it.
Oh.
Would you like to combine it?
I will let you do it.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
No.
Yay, thank you.
Alright. Does every table have their wheat dough?
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes,
Yes,
chef.
chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Perfect.
Yes, Chef
Now,
Saren.
Yes, chef.
you can do a lot with this dough. I'm actually going to create some for myself, just so I can do it as I talk it through. Now, for example, you could cook this dough directly into bread. Or, oh, I seem to have forgotten my knife. I will create one really quick for demonstration purposes. Alright. You can cook it on its own, you could use it in recipes such as cake, or you can cut it up into noodles, which can also be used in a variety of different recipes. I suggest not eating it directly, it could make you sick. But yes, you could create cake, cook it into bread, you could make things such as spring rolls, beignets, dumplings, more complicated breads and cakes and pies. But I will say one of the best things you can do with it is combine it with sugar and water in your stove. And you can create baker's bread, which applies a bit more sustenance to each of you. But for now, let's just cook it directly so you can try the fruits of your labor. Go ahead and stick your dough in the furnace. And if you need coal, I believe there is some in the stove next to it. And when you are done, I will come by and inspect each of the breads. This is not being graded, I just want to see where we're at.
We've made bread.
I'm excited.
Excuse me, chef.
Yes.
Are we cooking all of the doughs into breads or just one?
I only need one to inspect, so if you'd like to keep the other dough and practice with it, you may.
Okay.
But it is quite easy to make, and I would suggest making some on your own time as well. Alright, by now you should all have made at least one bread. I'm going to come down the aisle. If you could just hold it out so I can see it. Alright. Very good. Bit longer in the oven next time. Good. That one has a good crust. Good job. Very nice. Good. Bit too humid. Watch the water. Good. Very nice. Good.
Slow it down, make it bounce.
Okay. Good.
Lord Felix.
Very nice. I'm not sure how you got that smell, but okay. Good and wonderful. Good job, everyone. I hope you had a nice experience there. As it was a bit last minute, I decided that we should cook something just so you get a taste of what is to come. Yes, the pun was intentional. You may laugh.
Chef.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
Chef.
Now, I suggest those of you who don't have knives, go ahead and craft your own, as it can be a wonderful experience to make something with your own hands. As with cooking in general, it is very satisfying to eat something you have made yourself. Now, next class we will start with understanding prep work in general, mise en place, and general other kitchen mechanics, I should say. But that will be the end of this class, as we have an assembly to get to. So, do not waste any time and head to the cafeteria immediately. You are all dismissed.
Yes, chef?
Shall we head that way?
Yes, we shall go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I can't. How am I going to do this with Poppy?
I can put Poppy on your head.
I'm going to have to go the long way around. I apologize.
I don't mind carrying her for you.
Oh, if you could be so kind as to do that. If she'll let you, she may
no,
not.
She will not. She seems to not be fond of me.
Can you put her on somebody else's head?
Poppy, come on!
Lady Poppy.
You know what? Just follow Poppy. Come on, let's go.
Poppy, you were not supposed to climb on things.
Who's going to tell her her seat is taken? I'm
I
going to
believe
have
my
to sit somewhere
seat
else.
is- Huh. Very well.
You cannot move the author.
Oh, that's not.
Do not. Excuse me.
I suppose this is where I will sit then.
No, you blend in.
Oh yes, you're
Do you
right.
believe this?
Natural camouflage. I know. This is the second time this week my seat is being taken.
Well, couldn't take my seat. But I do believe that is all of the students here. Sir. I've had one student not message me about not being able to be here. Is that everyone in your class?
Let's see. Yes, that does appear to be everyone.
So, I'm sure you are all wondering as to why you have been called here for this assembly. And there are multiple reasonings. However, to start off, there is new rules that have been made for the academy. I have noticed that a lot of you, specifically a certain group, intend to use the loopholes to the best of their advantage. So, new rules have been created. There is no possibility for loopholes. If anyone is found using loopholes, they will be punished immediately. Now, I understand that this is a new environment for a lot of you, and it has been quite difficult for some people to properly accustamize themselves to it. So I do hope that these rules will remind you all of what you are able to do within the school grounds. Now, a copy of these rules will be handed out to each head heir of every court. They can be shared amongst yourselves, be put on your notice boards, or just be told to you verbally. However, anyone found breaking these rules will be facing the punishment stated in the rules, so it is important that you read over them and you understand them. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Now, I do want to ask Professor Saren to explain an incident that happened.
Yes, as a couple of you are aware, well, I'll start from the beginning. Let's be very clear. Only the teachers are permitted to enter another dimension without any supervision. We all have plenty of life experience, and we can be held accountable for ourselves. You all are under the charge of us. You are not to enter another dimension unless explicitly stated and escorted by one of us. With that said, while gathering potion materials, since some people are getting hurt quite quickly, not your fault, it happens, I stumbled upon a portal that I did not make. This portal was in a very strange area, and might I say a dangerous area. And when I went through to investigate, I popped out on school grounds, within a dormitory. Now, I do not believe that this group would necessarily be stupid enough to put it in the middle of their dorm where anyone could see it. However, anything could happen. And based on some things I've seen, I don't hold it past any of you at this point. With that said,
Just call us stupid.
someone, or everyone, is in a lot of trouble. Headmaster, would you like to explain the punishment they're looking at?
So, because admittedly there is no way I can see anyone standing up and confessing to breaking the rules outwardly, every court will be getting a point reduction until someone comes forward. This means each court will be losing 10 points for this incident. However, there are plenty of other incidents that I am now going to give people the opportunity to speak up against and confess, or you will be the reason that every single court loses out on a plethora of points. Now, I'm sure the rumors have been going rampant about situations that have happened within the school. The most recent one being that there have been a few incidences happening outside of the sea monster dormitories. There is someone who's leaving fish outside of their dorms as a form of threat. Would anyone like to speak up and claim to be the person who've done this?
Why would anyone? They haven't stepped forward before now. I don't see them stepping up now anyway.
No one? In that case, that is another 10 points from every court. This is a learning environment. This is not a place for you all to pull stupid pranks on each other and cause any form of danger to any other student. You are interrupting on people's safe places. That is not going to be accepted. Alongside that, I'm sure you are all aware that there are hidden rooms within the academy. On the first day of the academy, you were all told that anyone found snooping within these rooms will be punished. So can anyone pray tell me why I have had multiple incidences of students coming to me saying they have seen other people in these rooms, snooping for these rooms, or even yet, after I have blocked off these rooms for student access, I have found on multiple occasions that being broken, the obsidian being broken, and someone has gone back into the rooms that are clearly not meant for student access. Does anyone want to tell me why that would be happening? Does anyone want to say that they have gone snooping around? Or would you, yet again, want to be the reason why everyone actually, lose 10 points? Perfect, then. If none of you would like to speak up, there will be a minus of 30 points for every single court.
We're already going to the negatives.
It does not matter how hard you have fought to get those points. It does not matter what you have done to get those points. This is a learning environment. And all of you, quite frankly, are acting like children. You are supposed to be nobles. You are royals. You are supposed to act like it. But instead, you come in to this academy, to my home, and instead of treating it with the respect that is expected of you, with the mannerism that is expected of you, you destroy everything. You come in, all of you break the rules. Every single one of you have broken the rules. You've all stepped out of line. You've all spoken with disrespect. You've treated others with disrespect. You've been bullying each other. You have been fighting with each other. You've been pranking each other. You've been terrorizing others. And you've been terrorizing the school grounds. If you want any chance of your court winning this crown, of your head heir being the next ruler of the realms, you need to get your stuff together. You are not here to act like children. You are here to learn. You are here to fight for a crown, and you are here to win. None of you are children. Almost none of you have grown up in a situation where there has not been rules. And I can promise you, all of your parents will be getting a letter from me in extreme detail of how every single one of you have been acting. I do not care what your role is in your court. I do not care if you are a head heir elsewhere, if you are just a regular noble elsewhere. In my school, on my grounds, you are to follow the rules that I have put into place, or you will all be punished. This is not up for negotiation. If you are going to act out of line, you will be put back in your place. You are here as guests. You are here because you were invited here, because I believe that all of you had promise. And in the first week, you have all somehow managed to convince me that not a single one of you deserves to be here.
Pardon?
All of you have 1 week to get everything put into place, to start acting like the royals, the nobles, the people whom you are supposed to be. It is common sense at this point that you are to act how you would in your own court. You would not act like this in front of your parents. You would not act like this in front of your family. And if you would, quite frankly, I'm sincerely disrespected at the concept that I would ever welcome any of you sort of people into my home. This is a learning environment. You are either here to learn, here to win, or just simply here because you want to support your court, or you are to get out. Is that clear?
May I ask a question?
You may.
Is this 30-point deduction set in stone?
Yes, unless someone is to confess to doing the other behaviors.
I have done my fair bit of snooping around and observing, but I don't believe I've done anything wrong and broken any rules. But if there were a punishment given, I would like to be the bearer. But please, do not do this point deduction to my team.
What snooping have you done? Have you gone into areas that were hidden?
Possibly.
Well, in that case, there's only a 20-point reduction for everyone else. And let me just double check the new rules to make sure I'm doing this properly. You'll be getting a still 10-point reduction and detention.
Now what is the point of confessing?
Very well.
Thank you. You may take your seat. Anyone else?
I also snooped around.
Good to know. Again, 10 points and detention. Anyone else?
If someone must bear the burdens of my court, then I shall.
I'm not going to
Despite
be
my
punishing
absence.
people who have not done anything. Celica, you have not been here.
Yes, Headmaster.
Does anyone else want to confess to any of the things that have been mentioned previously? In that case, for Court Solmera and Court Bloodwyn, there's a 20-point reduction. For the other two courts, there is a 30-point reduction. And Paxton and Cinder will be having detention.
If I may ask, considering that they did come forward, wouldn't it be wise to, at least in some way, reward the honesty?
They are getting
rather
a lesser
than-
point reduction already. For detention, it is 15 points. I'm only taking 10.
However, the houses are still losing more points than had they not come forward.
They would be losing more if I was not being lenient. However, please, tell me what I should do then, Della.
I would suggest, considering the houses that haven't come forward, where everyone's remained secretive, correct me if I'm wrong, when nobody's come forward, they're losing 20 points. Where somebody has, they're losing 30, yes?
Yes, because they broke the rules.
I suppose it's a difficult situation to sort out. I would suggest that instead of the houses of those coming forward bearing the brunt of their burdens, we focus on a harsher punishment towards the individuals who came forward.
Your suggestion is taken into note. For future reference, it will not be changing anything today. Far too often have I let people off the hook for continuously breaking the rules. That will not be happening anymore. If you step out of line, again, you will be put back in your place. You are to listen to myself, Professor Charybdin, Professor Saren, and Professor Castiel. We are the people in charge of you. What we say goes. It does not matter if something is not directly in the rulebook. Some things are left up to the teacher's discretion. However, if you go out of your way to purposely try find any loopholes or break the rules, you will be dealt with. Is that understood for everyone?
Yes.
Understood.
Yes, Headmaster.
Yes, understood.
Good. Your role dismissed.
Oh,
Thank
are
you.
you back? Have
Yes.
they? All right.
I'm rather confused and frankly. I don't remember making it this far up the path.
I see.
Pardon for the delay.
Well, that was unexpected, to say the least.
I struggled to see why there was any appeal in coming forward.
I also struggled to see that, as I don't think maybe they thought they would be awarded some points back for honesty, but I am not sure why the sea monster would.
Yes, I do question
that
that,
after
because once the Cerulean Court came forward, it was very obvious that it was not a good thing to come forward, and that there was no benefit of it. It only helped other courts, not your own. Had no one spoken up, we would have been on even playing fields.
Yes.
But those two being honest has instead benefited the two other courts. No more snooping. I don't care. No more snooping. I did not grab the rule book before I left, unfortunately. It slipped my mind to do so, so I do hope they mail it. And when I do have it, I will put it on the board for people if they want copies of their own to transcribe it themselves. I will personally be making a copy for myself to carry about. But yes, so it appears things are going to be taken to a massive scale, but unless the process of things changes, I don't see a benefit in coming forward.
Yes, I don't see a benefit of coming forward either.
That was my main thing. I didn't want to comment on me being very confused by that whole ordeal.
Yes.
And it being seen as insulting, because I do feel that he is upset because people have invaded his home, and I can see why that would upset him.
But
and I don't think his thought process on this punishment was fully developed.
Yes, I was going to say that as well.
I think it's just important to remember that this is not our court, this isn't our home.
Yes.
We're invited guests. We have to act like it.
And Headmaster Phelan is the brother of the former queen. By all accounts, he does outrank everyone here. The heirs of each court are the children of their respective lords, or some type of relation. I guess I can't assume it being the same for everyone. and they may have the Thorn Concord may have been looking over the kingdom, but prior to them, it was the queen. And now we are giving the opportunity to get a new queen or king established, and that is thanks to the headmaster.
Oh, I did ask to clarify because I was a little bit confused since he first mentioned the minus 10 points and I wasn't sure how many in total that was. But it's
No, it
in
was
total
confusing
we've
the way
lost
he worded it.
Yeah, I asked him.
Yes,
We've
we're-
lost minus 20 points in total.
Yeah, there was going to be minus 30 due to
Mhm.
the
If
nosing around, due to the fish, and due to the nether portal, but due to other courts coming forward with, for at least the being nosy, it wiped that charge off of us.
I can't believe someone went to a different dimension.
I. Mhm.
I suppose we
They're
can't
trying to kill it,
assume, but
didn't
with the portal coming out in the middle of the dormitories, why wasn't the focus put on those in ownership of that dormitory?
Well, Professor
know.
Saren mentioned that she would like to think that whoever did it would not be stupid enough to do it in their own dorm.
I'm surprised they
Yes.
didn't mention the
So I
dorm.
believe
But then
someone may be
Professor-
trying to frame them.
I will say, the wording of Professor Saren, she did in turn call all of us stupid because she doesn't put it past any of us.
Yes, that is true. So either she believes they may be or they may have done it themselves. It is not.
I'm surprised they didn't go as far as to mention the court that did which dormitory it was spawned in.
I'm not surprised about that, to be honest.
I don't believe they wanted to put a target. Or I'm not quite sure, honestly.
But Professor Cassian mentioned going to the Nether in class soon anyways. I don't know why they would just go.
I wonder if it's potentially, I don't know, what did Professor Saren say about it? She came across it when she was in the Nether already?
Yes.
Yeah.
It could have just been a former portal, could it have not? Like, that would have been
I
prior to the
don't
dorms?
believe so.
I'd assume the area in that dimension that would lead to the school has been scouted at least.
They would have to
So
go
they would be
into the.
aware of
They would
anything
have to make the
active.
portal first,
Hmm.
and then have someone delete it from the outside. Unless they had found a portal in one of the secret rooms.
Well,
if
this-
there, I don't even know if there was one.
Let me say this.
Because
This kingdom has been around for a very long time. This castle, prior to being an academy, was the castle that Queen Elwyn ruled from. She resided here over 300 years ago. It's very easy that portals that were on the nether side already remain from that time.
I
So,
see.
unless Headmaster's confident of that, I don't know if that was a line of thought, but who knows. But I'm not going to point that out to him because he seems rather sensitive on the subject. But don't go pointing blame. I'm assuming none of you here did it.
No.
Good.
Nope.
And before anyone tries to me about it, no, I did not put fish on the sea monster's dorms.
I did not think
Seemed
you
like
did.
something you would do.
I've had talks with the headmaster, and he believes that I am one of the suspects, and I believe a lot of the sea monsters believe that I am a suspect as well. So I would just like to clear it up beforehand that it was not me that did that.
I believe it
And
happened again, and as
Yes, I was going to
Professor
say I
Saren, and you should be cleared now.
hopefully so.
Genuinely to believe that a fellow folk would waste food in such a way is wild to me anyways.
That's what I was thinking.
I would like to take this time to say, please do watch your fellow folks' backs as we walk. I do not wish to give the full reason why, but there are certain incidents happening, and it would be much safer for us to make sure we are watching each other's backs and that no one is following too closely. Is that understood?
Mm-hmm.
And just be aware of who's standing behind you.
If that is everything, I am going to go change.
Yes, I'm going to go change, and then, Katarina, may I speak with you?
I am actually having someone asking to speak with me currently, so I have to be after.
I see. That is fine.
I can't get a hold of Loon 7, and with it given, it's a median between the Crown Duchess, Duchess Waverly, and myself. I fear the adequate person to bring with me would be a fellow heir, so one of my loons. But I suspect Duchess Waverly of this witchcraft that has me cursed. And I have no desire in bringing Tavali if it's going to put her in danger.
Oh no, Daphne.
That seems how most people view me.
Rather inconvenient, because Lady Ridley and Lord Felix both aspire to be knights, but they don't have the training. Lord Felix has had some training from his words, but he doesn't have the demeanor to accompany me to a meeting that, honestly, I fear is going to be tense due to the relations between our courts, and I don't trust him to not blurt out whatever's on his mind, out of line, out of turn. Lady Ridley, I'm not sure she can also maintain if she has a strong opinion on something. She did blurt out to the headmaster, but I do think she's more composed. The trade-off is that I don't believe she has any formal combat training. Lady Daphne isn't suitable because they think she's the one that's behind many of these incidents, and that's going to just be a sign of hostility. I wanted Loon 7 to be there by my side, but seems I am not able to. I was about to head to a meeting with Crown Duchess Mirelle. Wanted to invite you. Are you free to come immediately? One last try to get his attention.
Hello.
Greetings. There you are. We're meeting them in the courtyard.
Maybe a bit ironic, but roses.
Pardon for the short notice of it. I knew it was to be coming, but I initially planned to attend alone.
That's fair. I got nothing else to do today. Just headed out the door to go wander around. So this worked out.
Alright. I am sorry for pulling you from your wandering.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Hello.
Plenty of time to wander. Hey.
Sorry.
Hi.
Pardon, I am on my way to a meeting, but it's good to see you.
Oh, have fun in your meeting.
I doubt that's a fun conversation.
I didn't even look over there to see who was there.
It was, I think, all of the Cerulean Court that is present today and the headmaster.
Oh. Yeah, not a place I want to be.
Yes, we're gonna meet here, and then we'll find a seating place in one of the side towers.
Kind of ominous weather for a meeting with sea monsters.
Yes, we'll be having it inside.
Hello.
Greetings, Duchess. Greetings, Duchess.
Apologies for the delay.
I know there's sitting rooms amongst many of the towers, if we want to find one that seats 4.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, you have umbrellas. I was about to ask if you would be alright in the rain.
It makes us rather sluggish.
Understandable.
Trying to think of where I saw them. I know there's one right outside the main hall, actually. That might just be the better one to go to than finding a new one.
I'm still learning my way around the school, so I will take your word for it.
There's one right here, if we don't mind the red.
That works for me.
Do we want bottom floor, or do we want to go up for more privacy?
Perhaps up might be better. People at the school are a bit nosy.
Mm-hmm. This one has interesting seating arrangements.
Oh.
Trying to see if there's one that's seated, like, downstairs. I think maybe the floor below it would be the best option.
Sorry.
I shall make a space for us to speak.
Oh, the headmaster just sent me a bubble.
That's joy.
Ooh.
Let me respond to him so he is. Okay, I have responded to him.
Alright, well, I will say, I failed to remember if I called the meeting or if you did initially, but I know...
I believe you did, but I was wanting to as well.
I've been wanting to for actually a couple days now at this point. Initially it was for apology for the behavior of some of my court on the orientation day. They had been making jokes that were taken offensively, and I can see why they were. And I just apologize for the conduct on first impressions.
I appreciate the apology. I think we are all adjusting to how life is on land rather than how we are. I do apologize for what that may have caused. I know with the comments said, I'm sure it did not. I'm sure it was not received well with the administration.
I will say there was no ill will in any of the comments that any of my ladies or lords had made. It was more so humor from our own region, and it adapted to those who are around us. And it was inappropriate, but it was not done with ill intentions. Originally, we had been talking about, because we have in our dorm an aquarium, and it needed to be, it had all the coral and such in it already, but it did not have any fish. So we were talking about getting fish to do, and then shortly afterwards, we had seen Lord Paxton walk by, and I suppose we caught his curiosity, and he turned around and was walking backwards while staring, and some of my ladies found it endearing.
That's understandable.
And so it stemmed from that, and then continued to snowball, and it's my own fault, and I was lacking in keeping it from escalating how it did.
I do not put you at fault for that. I think, like you said, things just spiraled out of hand, and the difference in culture and jokes and things led to that.
I do think a lot of things have been spiraling out of hand at the Academy, and I fear it mainly comes from the main method of communication being word of mouth. And when one person learns of something, it's passed to the next, but they don't pass it correctly, likely not on purpose, but just the transfer of information has not been smooth and things being relayed wrong.
Yes, I have definitely fallen victim to that, I feel, as most of the things that I have learned of the goings-ons has been second or third hand at this point, as I am not around when we have had incidents pop up.
I've had a mixture of both, unfortunately. Do we want to get into what you wanted to meet about?
Well, I have been informed of... I wish I had... hold on. Let me refresh my memory momentarily.
Oh, well, my sister refused that. I just believe that we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. I believe this all stemmed from us not quite understanding land culture and spotting one of your people holding a sheep and spiraling from there into an unfortunate feud between our two courts.
Yes, I do recall that being actually the second thing that we got reprimanded for that came from sea monsters that I was informed of. Prior to that, one of my ladies had been walking about, and she did toe the line of breaking a rule, but she had stepped onto a bush or climbed it, I'm unsure of which, but that not confirmed, but a sea monster is suspected to have been the one to report it. And then we had one of ours get called out very publicly in the first mess hall meeting to be remanded for picking up an animal when there was no rules against it, and so we were all rather confused. And you mentioned sheep. I was under the impression it was whenever he had picked up a cow.
I do not recall seeing a cow.
I remember a sheep on, I believe, orientation day. I believe we were simply discussing and wondering what it was all about, as that is obviously not a normal occurrence that we see every day in our lives.
Yes, that is what I was trying to refresh my memory
Yes.
on, is orientation day. We had seen one of your court pick up a sheep, and we had just commented on because the sheep was quite fluffy, and that is not something we are used to seeing. But we did not report it with any intent. We were simply speaking while sitting in the mess hall with Professor Krypton, and it seems she took it as a report. And we were just simply stating our intrigue, I guess. With,
curiosities.
Yeah, curiosity with seeing such things. And I think the same with the bush, because I myself have never reported anything. At least I think the only thing we reported was the dead fish left in front of our door. But think that is the only thing that we have went to report.
I see. I was with my court for majority of orientation day, and I don't remember a sheep being picked up, but there was a brief time when I was in my dorm room that I suppose it could have happened. I was around when a cow was picked up, and we were, quite frankly, nearly right in front of our dorm doors. And so when we got accused of improperly behaving and carrying animals, which animals are very well loved in our region, it was taken as someone was spying right at our doorstep, which we did not take kindly to.
I can imagine I would also not take kindly to that, so I can understand how you must be feeling with this, but truly we meant no ill will either, and it is not something we set out with the intention of doing, is to report whatever. We, like I said, the only time that we saw was the sheep, and it was right at before the paths began to go to the dorm rooms.
Yeah. I remember when Felix moved the sheep. He just was getting it off the path. There was large groups of people coming.
We must have just been there for a brief moment and only saw him holding the sheep then.
I think we were walking back towards
I believe we were
the
leaving, yes.
building, but I don't remember where we were going. But yes, I do apologize on behalf of myself and all of my court for the misunderstanding, though. I did not want us to get off on the wrong foot.
I see. I know that my court also did not help in regards to keeping relations positive on that first day. Oh yes, I wanted to say, you mentioned the first thing reported has been the fish. I truly have no idea who did it, and it's to my understanding that it was being pinned on one of my ladies, and I can say with full belief in her that it was not her. I know I've been friends with her for a very long time, so there's bias, but within that bias, I know how she operates. She's hostile with words, not actions.
That is understandable. You know your court better than anyone. I apologize that she got dragged into this. I know when the report was made, her name was brought up for, I'm not even sure what it was for, being...
I believe there was just a bit of tension between our court.
Yes,
And I believe it may have just spilled over a little bit there.
With the timing of it and it being more or less feeling like pinned on her, I feel her punishment for being rude to Lord Pax got amplified, even though it wasn't something she did. And I do find it very hard to believe any of my court would be brazen enough to do something of the sort, especially when that is our primary food supply. Lady Daphne has already been punished for her rudeness to Lord Paxton. So I'm trying to recall names. She had detention. We received the point reduction for it. I will say, whenever I got filled in by the headmaster, the story was completely out of order. And I can attest to it being out of order because I had witnessed portions of things. Such as she was being accused of giving you the potions for free and then demanding payment afterwards. When the only time that I recall her demanding payment, which maybe she did and maybe I am a fool for believing, but she had asked Lord Paxton off of my orders about pricing for water breathing. She is the one who brews them. I want her and her family is a business family. I wanted her to be the one to handle anything of the sort, so I suggested she ask among your court herself on pricing to see what a fair price would be. That's the interaction. That was the first interaction, and that is when she made the comments. and then it should have been a day after or so that she gave the free ones. So was it reported that she demanded payment for the free ones?
I see. I am unsure. It was whatever they told the headmaster.
I'm unsure as well, but from my understanding, since I was one of the few people who actually did receive one of the free ones, my understanding was that there was some argument or discussion beforehand about payment, perhaps the discussion that you're talking about there, and then we were gifted the free ones. But I was not at the first discussion, so I do not feel confident in suggesting that may be the complete truth. We could ask around our court, though.
The first conversation was with Lord Paxton. I have spoken with him, and you could speak with him as well. That was when, I don't know what price it was, but from my side of things, what I know of Lady Daphne, heard from Lady Daphne, I should say, is she had approached him as I had asked her to. I actually have asked her to approach one of you, or Duchess Aqua, for it. But I suppose you couldn't get a hold of either of you at the time, and so she went for Lord Paxton instead, just for field research for marketing. He had mentioned he did not have the funds to buy any, and his words to me when I had asked about this in the courtyard was he then prompted them potentially be given for free, as they would be really appreciated for free. Lady Daphne did find that insulting. She is well renowned in her field for potion brewing, alchemy, and her family is well known for medicines. She has a lot of training in this field, and so she reacted very strongly to her work not being valued. I do not approve of what she said in the slightest, but that is where she was coming from whenever she made the comments of the accusing or questioning the monetary level of the court, and then referred that she is not a charity.
I see.
If my knowledge is correct, that did not happen right before the free potions were given. I knew the potions were going to be given because the same conversation I had with her to suggest asking about payment was she had already made potions, and since she didn't know the pricing and she didn't want them to grow stale, I suggested potentially gifting them as an act of good faith.
I see. Well, that is a generous gift, and I wish I knew the full timeline on our part as well.
Yes, the headmaster had the timeline wrong.
Which I'm sure did not help matters.
It felt difficult to try to speak about because he was very set, and what he had was the truth due to testimonies, but the testimonies are out of order, which he did acknowledge when I met with him again, because he had gone and spoken with more. I'm not sure who else he spoke to, but he had spoken with other people who had witnessed the events, and to get a full written testimony, I believe, or he was writing one. And whenever I had talked to him again, he had mentioned that he did in fact have the order of events wrong when he spoke to me. I know there was also the issue of her selling blaze powder. She had permission to sell things on school ground. I find that as doing business, as long as both sides agree to the deal, I don't see an issue with doing trade. But I don't know the full details on that situation, and I'm wondering if potentially that payment got mixed in with being accused for the free water breathing, but I am uncertain on that. I don't know that side of things.
It is possible. I'm sure that all the different conversations possibly blurred together, making things seem as they are not. I wish that if they felt they could not afford things, they could have come to us and we could have figured something out, as I would be willing to purchase any potions. I do not wish to discredit Lady Daphne and her time and effort into potion making. So we would be interested in that in the future. If that offer is still on the table.
I do appreciate that. I can definitely mention it to her. I did tell her that this was our initial discussion before she asked Lord Paxton that should she price them, she was already aware from Professor Della that she should be considerate of the price as it is a necessity for you all. And so she should be aware that they should not be overpriced.
Which would be greatly appreciated, but
Blaze Rod and Blaze Powder, I am letting her have full reign on what she prices those, as especially given the main meeting in the mess hall and everything and such. I know she did acquire her ingredients in a way that did not involve breaking a rule, but they are extremely hard to come by when we don't have access to that realm. And as it is her passion and her study, she's going to charge high for materials if she's not the one making it herself.
that is understandable. Especially since getting such materials can be difficult, so I would understand.
Yes, if anything, when it comes to potions, for the water-breathing potions, if she does not want to negotiate herself, or if I feel the need that I should be the one negotiating, we could always do a formal contract in a way for an agreed-upon price so it doesn't change.
Yes, we could do that.
I would just have to speak with her because I don't know what price she has in mind currently. I just know she was asking, and she was also taking into account, because I believe you have water breathing available in the school store, do you not?
I don't believe they have added it.
We've asked for it to be added, but I do not believe they've gotten to it yet.
Yes.
Okay. I know she was, when she mentioned it, she was referring to school pricing in general for things then. But due to that, I don't envision her pricing them too high. It would likely just be for materials and her time. And even then, if it is too high and you're not comfortable talking to her about it, I can talk to her.
That sounds good to me. I do not mind speaking with her either, with whatever you would feel comfortable with, as this is a member of your court. I am okay with either.
I know she's very brazen with her words, and recently her dislike has been poorly veiled. So if she doesn't act more appropriately, you likely will be speaking to me, just so I don't put you in an uncomfortable situation with her.
That's understandable. I think if that is the case, we can make it between us, or even have her here with you if that would make her more comfortable with it as well.
I know that she is, part of her punishment was collecting materials from a list.
I did hear of that, yes.
She'll be going with Professor Della on it. So I know she wants to use that as an opportunity to prove that she is not just wholly against your court, because she is not. She was just upset at the situation.
That is understandable.
With the situation getting piled into the unfortunate fish incident as well, it had come down on her very hard on all the accusations of things. And when I assume she tried to tell the timeline correctly and her word being completely unbelieved.
I am sure that would be hard on anyone, and I apologize that it fell upon her. I'm sure it was a lot to handle. So I can only imagine.
I was very ill on the day it happened, and so I didn't have any involvement in it. I was merely filled in post-haste.
I definitely understand that. I have been getting a lot of that lately when I have been under the weather.
Well, I do hope that we can help. Maybe we meet more often if misunderstandings like this continue.
Yes, I would like that.
I fear, even if we look at the professors for guidance and such, that even words can be unintentionally twisted when they receive reports and then they go to report it further, or in the case of the sheep, it not having been a report at all.
Yes. I think it may be wise for, at least for things that are within our control, we can try to solve the matters ourselves.
I have no issue in disciplining my court when needed. And anytime they have lost us points, I have made it very clear they're responsible for earning them back.
That is a very wise idea, honestly.
And while I know it was not a fault of my own because I had no control over the situation, I do apologize for Duchess Aqua being put into a very strange predicament of being taken into our dorm.
Yes, I did hear about that. I'm sure it was not great on all sides.
She got lessoned in front of all of us, and she also got privy to the fact that we were also receiving lessons. So,
yes. I did not find that very fair or proper, I guess.
We did not either, and I have met Duchess Aqua briefly at the banquets and such, so I'm assuming her comments regarding explosives, I hope we're not serious, but members of my court have no impression of her, and that was their impression. So then her being in their dorm certainly unsettled some.
I am sure, and I wish the first impression was better. I know that is not a precedence that we wanted to set.
Nor did I want our first impression of my court to be putting the court threatening or adopting? Was that the word that was used?
I think it was adopting?
Yes, I believe so.
I think so. My ears were giving me trouble that day, and I missed 90% of most conversations. So
I know after the train ride that I guess the wind from the train took a lot out of my throat, and it was difficult for those to hear my voice around me, so it had taken a bit for me to adjust.
yes, I think it was a lot of adjusting for everyone.
Well, I know that your dorm incident must have been unsettling, but I do hope that adjusting to the academy has gone well, and life on land.
For the most part, I feel like we are starting to get the hang of things. I know it's a bit different, but it's, for the most part, a good different.
Well, I'm glad. I can't say I go in the water too often. My ears are rather sensitive to it. I'll do occasional dives when the situation calls for it, or if... Is mentioning fishing considered disrespectful?
For me personally, I don't think, as long as you're not fishing up large aquatic animals. Smaller fish, I think, is fine. If you're trying to fish maybe a shark or something, that would be a little concerning, but otherwise I think it is fine.
Pardon, the headmaster's now missing me. Yes, I don't intend I don't think many of us really ever tend to go into the ocean to fish where that is necessary.
No.
At most, we typically go for things like salmon and cod.
Mhm.
There's a variety of fish that you might see, obviously, and you're aware of that, but that tends to be what we look for the most.
That is understandable. We do not consume fish ourselves. We are vegetarian, but I know many, many, many years ago, the sea monsters did eat fish, so.
Yes, I asked that question with reason, and I kind of forget my line of thought because I got the missive. Yes, I don't think we're prone to diving too often.
Understandable.
I really don't remember my line of thought, unfortunately.
That is all right.
But on a friendlier note, how have you been liking classes? Favorites so far?
I think classes have been going well. I quite enjoyed the culinary class today, and equestrian studies I think is going to be a favorite of mine. What about you all?
I am looking forward to culinary, and despite the strictness of it, I am rather a fan of Royal Code, and I do hope we get to do more dance. Not more, but we do get into the dance practices and such. And then I haven't attended equestrian, and I didn't get to attend magical studies, but I can't say I'm necessarily interested in equestrian. I don't know how to ride. But magical studies does seem a little interesting. I have like the basics, and learning more would be nice.
Yes, I'm quite excited to learn all these different things.
What about you, Duchess Waverly or Seven?
I haven't got to attend the class that I want to take, which is the knighthood one. But I thought I was gonna like equestrian studies until we were all forced to nay. And so I don't know how I feel about it now.
I did hear of that.
Yeah, you kind of dodged a bullet on that one. It was very embarrassing.
I found it quite entertaining.
I believe the headmaster's demonstration was most certainly required.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, hopefully whenever you do get the chance to attend knighthood, it suits your fancy, and perhaps we can be redeemed on combat. I do think Lord Felix
we're
did
gonna
try
try.
his best and did perform well. It's just he's likely used to fighting against other fell folks who have the similar lightness on their feet.
That is understandable. It'll definitely be an adjustment to different fighting styles, and I'm sure we can all learn a lot from each other.
And Lord Felix did wonderful in his battle.
Wish I was there to see it.
Yes, it was. Who was he the one who faced it off against Lord Pax, or did he face someone different?
No, I believe do you not put a demon?
Potentially. I don't remember all the fights. I remember
Because Lord Pax fought Finn. Aqua fought Lord Mateus of the vampires. So it must have been a demon with Lord Felix. I just am forgetting which one off the top of my head.
That makes sense. I'm not very combat inclined, so.
Either am I. I know basics because our father had us learn at least the bare minimum to protect ourselves, but that is as far as my knowledge goes.
I did not learn anything combat related. I studied under, not particularly magecraft under a mage for a little bit, but just when I was younger as a general tutor. So I know of runes, like the earth and like wind, but it has been a while.
I'm unsure. It's all unfamiliar territory for me. I don't think I know much about any of that at all.
I guess, is it just you or is just magic uncommon in the Cerulean Court?
I know that Levy has dealt with a little bit of healing magic, I think she mentioned.
Magic is certainly not as common as it appears in the other courts. Most of our magic is in the fact that we live underwater.
Yes. But I don't think anyone in the court is well versed in it, or has much knowledge of it at all.
No, I believe most of our knowledge on that has died out.
A desire to learn, for sure, but...
Well then, if it is a desire to learn, I might see you in magical studies. If I actually make it to the next class, that is.
Yes, the last one was interesting. It was very short.
Yes, I got my novice wand sent to my mail. And Lady
Is
Daphne...
that why those are in there?
Yes, it is. I take it you didn't attend either.
No. But there was a wand in my mailbox, and I didn't understand it.
A magic trick.
But yes, I do believe that unless there's anything else we want to chat about, or...
None that I can think of now, but hopefully we can talk about things in the future and...
Yes, I do think clearing up misunderstandings does help, and knowing that you didn't report the sheep, apparently. Sorry, I've been very much under the impression it was the cow. Does lift some weight off of me, because that is something that, not necessarily the report itself that did upset some of my court members, it was the matter of how they were disciplined on it, because it was in the mess hall right before the meeting, so everyone was there.
I do hate that that is how it was went about.
And I apologize for just hostilities in general. I do hope that it can calm down for any that do linger.
Yes, as do I. I hope for better relations for our two courts. But I am glad we had this meeting and spoke it over.
Yes, I am as well.
Well. I guess I need to go meet with the headmaster now.
Yes, he asked if I was available, so I suppose I might be meeting with him after you.
You guys are in trouble?
Oh,
well, I
hope
did.
not.
Whenever I was on my way here, I saw him speaking to the Cinderloon Court, so I'm wondering if it might be a court-by-court basis.
Could be. Well, he did say that we were getting a new rule book. It could be that.
That is also true. I had left the mess hall and I hadn't thought about the rule book when I left, but it was when I got to my dorm. I was like, maybe I was supposed to grab that then and there, and just didn't think of it.
I also did not. We made it back to the dorms, and I'm like, like I'm forgetting something, but...
Well, the meeting was very jarring, so while the rule book was mentioned at the start, that was not what my focus was on at the end.
Nor was it on mine. But... Well, I guess I will respond to him.
I sent him my response as well. I'm gonna head back to the door at 7.
Fine.
You as
too.
well. Which direction? Are you heading to the dorm as well, or are you heading to a different direction?
I don't know where I'm going yet, so I'll probably go to the dorms first.
Okay.
I gotta find out where everybody went.
Oh, I walked into a wall.
Happens to the best of us.
I do feel that was a productive conversation.
Yeah. I think it went decently well.
Mm-hmm. I do have some concerns that I can fill you in on, but I'll do that at the dorm. Not related to the meeting.
Fine.
Sorry, I was making sure I didn't have a missive back that I missed. Oh.
It's totally fine. I'm gonna make a private space for us for a moment. Fine.
Another reason that meeting had piqued my interest was she had told me that Duchess Waverly would be there, and I have no proof, but she was someone I had written down as a suspect for potentially being the one to curse me, because the two ways to do the curse, per se, from what I was filled in on, is either going to my bed or being behind me without me noticing. And I don't recall anyone being behind me without me noticing unless it's, say, during classes. And she was directly behind me in one of my classes, and so I do feel maybe I wasn't the most subtle in trying to ask on magic knowledge, but I was trying to see if it had...
See if they had any experience with magic.
Yes, because their court is who I suspect.
That's fair. That's would be where my head would go first, especially with all the drama we've had with them recently.
Did it feel subtle, or did it feel out of place to begin asking about classes?
It seemed subtle enough to me. I didn't pick up on what you were doing. I thought you were just genuinely asking.
I will say Duchess Waverly never mentioned anything about her class preferences, and didn't speak about magic herself. It was only Crown Duchess Mirelle that was speaking.
That is true.
So I don't necessarily think my suspicions have been cleared. I'm not even sure if they've been worsened or not, to be honest. But I'll have to continue seeing how things go. But the headmaster's on his way here to speak with me.
Good luck.
Yes. He is making his way here now.
All right.
I shall meet him
Enjoy.
outside. Headmaster?
Yes, I just wanted to drop off a copy of the rules.
Thank you.
Yes, how are you feeling?
I do think my condition has mostly improved. If it hadn't, I wouldn't have been anywhere near the cooking stations.
Yes, well, I'm glad that you're feeling better.
Thank you for your concern.
How was the talk with the Crown Duchess?
I think it went well, in my opinion. It was clearing up miscommunications, such as I think you already made aware of how we had an animal on our dorm path and we picked it up, and they had said that they didn't ever report it. They had just made a comment on it, and it was taken into Professor Charybdin's hands, and she took it upon herself to make issue out of it. So
I see. I was not aware that that is what happened. I will be speaking with Professor Krypton about that. Thank you.
Yes, from their words, it was more so that them not being on land too often, and them saying they saw a sheep. I wasn't there for the sheep incident. I was fully under the impression it was about a cow. So there's more miscommunication there, but I don't think that necessarily is anyone's fault. I'm guessing Lord Felix maybe picked up 2 animals.
I see.
But they had saw him pick up a sheep, and they were just, from their words in the meeting, saw it was really fluffy and were just interested and made the comment. But I can't fault them for that. It is fluffy.
Yes, I see.
But no, it was just discussing what is going on to relieve tensions.
Well, I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that eases a lot more of the tensions now.
I do hope so.
Apologies.
Oh, I do hope so.
Yes, I as well.
Oh, then I do owe Lady Daphne's been wishing to speak with me for a while. For if that's everything, I might go meet with her.
Yes, it is.
Have a good evening, Headmaster Phelan.
You as well.
There you are.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, goodness.
Did you need to speak privately? We were just reading the rule book.
I mean, Tavali already knows.
Okay.
But as long as no one else is around, it involves the incident that has been happening. Last night, Tavali, Lizzaylia, Professor Castiel, Lord Pax, and Professor Krypton were exploring. Something happened. We were all fine. We came back, and once we were back at the school, thankfully it did not happen while we were exploring, but once we were back at the school, I felt my body move. And it was not me moving my body.
So I was correct thinking they would target you too, then?
Yes. And I told Cass about it today, and she did give me a protection poppet, a voodoo protection poppet, but I was searching through my pockets today, and my body moved on its own again.
That's rather unsettling.
Yes. So I'm unsure why it is not working or what is the issue. But I wanted to make sure that you were informed.
Yes, past the first day that I had noticed it, I haven't found myself moving about that I've noticed, but there's also
Yes, I was...
times I may not notice.
It's just a bit worrying that they would do it 2 days in a row. Or at least I noticed it 2 days in a row. Again, I was in my pockets and I very clearly felt my body move back.
Rather concerning.
Yes.
I can update you both. I did just recently get out of a meeting with Crown Duchess Mirelle. We did clear up some confusion on things. And I do find myself a bit more inclined to believe their word on what they said in this regard. They never, how we perceived it, tattled regarding the animal on the path and it being picked up. Which they may be lying, who knows, but they had said they had seen us, whoever it was with it, and more so like made a comment on it because they are not from land, and what they saw was Lord Felix with a sheep, and we're just curious about its fluffiness from their words. But them commenting on it, not with any malicious intent, Professor Charybdin took it upon herself to make it into an issue.
Miss Stella did, really?
According to them, they did not have an issue with it. They had just commented on it, and Miss Stella was the one that escalated it into a said issue. So, and that's when hostilities, I think, necessarily more so ramped up in a way. And so I do hope that confusion and things can get slowly cleared up. Crown Duchess Mirelle also was mainly getting secondhand stories regarding your situation, Lady Daphne, on the posts and such. And I did comment on, I didn't do it in an accusatory way, on the story being flipped around and incidents that didn't happen in certain orders being told to the professors in said order. And so they did apologize regarding that, as anything that she reported, it was secondhand relayed to her, third hand, fourth hand, whatever it was. And that's the issue to begin with. It shouldn't be passing through so many hands before being reported. I don't know if it was reported from her or not, but nevertheless, I did comment on that and asked if there be more carefulness done in the future. And should you be interested in still selling potions, they are not against potentially writing a contract if they don't mind doing a set price. They wouldn't decide the price. You would still, with me overseeing, just ensure it isn't too high, as Professor Charybdin had mentioned to you, not high enough to be where...
Yes,
if you were wanting to, there's no obligation to, as they did make accusations against you. But if you're wanting to still have a business contract and that sort, I suggested that it be done contract-wise, potentially, so they cannot
if it was
things.
a contract, then possibly, but yes, I would have to think about it.
I did tell the Crown Duchess that I would ask you about it, but I would leave it up to you, as it is your craft. And in regards of negotiating the contract and such, I did make it clear that you would be the one that would determine the price. But I did include that if, given the situation and such, if there would be difficulty with you two conversing on either side, I didn't mind mediating. Or if it is even just me being there with you, I don't mind doing that as well. When you taking the lead. If it does come down to be something you want to do.
Right. I appreciate that.
I did lightly inquire about their interest in different classes. More so to see if they had any interest in magic, and according to Crown Duchess Mirelle, that magic isn't overly common in their court. A lot of it has been lost to time. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much I believe it necessarily. I was trying, because my suspicion is more so on Duchess Waverly, I was trying to get Duchess Waverly's response to some things, but she was very silent when it came to magic discussions.
I see.
but who knows? I had asked, Seven was there with me because since they brought, the Crown Duchess had brought an heir, I had brought an heir as well, and I trusted Seven to protect me if need be. With
Which is
fighting
smart.
strength. And when I spoke to him afterwards, because he had no idea I was going to prod for information, he said it didn't seem suspicious in the slightest to him when I had pivoted conversation topics. So I do hope that his perception of it is their perception.
Well, that is good. But as of the current moment, it would make it hard for a sea monster to go into the nether, I believe, but I mean, if they have water breathing potions and they go in there already, then they are able to grab more materials and they may be able to do it themselves, so that doesn't really leave them fully out of the picture. I just believe I will wait a little bit until tensions start to settle down a bit.
That is completely fine, and it is within your right to choose to do so. Yes, I just wanted to update you on the conversation. We pretty much slowly went through the different events that have happened in the past week that had caused the tensions between our two courts, and hearing each other's side on things, because information being passed through multiple hands and then to the teachers, this seems to be misrelayed. So
yes. Well, I just wanted to inform you about my situation, and hence why I made the small announcement earlier to make sure your backs are being watched.
I do hope
Because if it
you
is
stay safe.
happen to me, then it surely will happen to someone else.
I did also, once again, to Crown Duchess Mirelle's face, firmly refute you having any involvement to fish on their dorm path.
That is good, because I don't want them to try and give another reason. Just any of that.
I did say I may have bias because I have known her from childhood, but I think that bias also serves me in a way of knowing how she behaves, and that is not within her behaviors. But yes, I did firmly refute you having any involvement in that. And
yes, and I mean, you are quite aware of my fear of the ocean, I guess you could say.
I didn't mention you specifically, but I had mentioned that most folks don't take too kindly to diving. There may be rare occasions where we might get our ears wet, but for the most part, diving underwater is not of our interest. Fishing might be, but
diving,
can be
no.
done from high up.
Well, I'm glad that is somewhat cleared, and that, I have you having my back, which I very much appreciate.
And I thank you for having mine.
Of course. Well, I believe Cass was going to help me, but the sun has taken her, so I believe I will be taking a nap.
I also plan to go retire into my dorm as well.
Alright, well, I will talk to you later then.
And if you do grab a copy of the rules off the board, be sure that you put the one that's up there back up there.
Yes, I believe I will do that very quickly and then head.
It is very long. It's 60 pages. I wish you best of luck. Me and Tabali.
It is how many pages?
60.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
That, alright. Well, alright.
Just think of when I first messaged you saying I was available, I had been reading it pretty much until you came in.
Right, alright.
Farina? That's so adorable, Lady Farina.